The views expressed by individual contributors to this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of other individual contributors, Three in the Box Podcast, Facade Podcasts, Sullivan J. Smalls Productions, or Power Soccer Shop. They almost certainly do not represent the views of the United States Power Soccer Association or its board of directors. The following presentation is solely intended to grow the game of power soccer in the United States, not to represent the views of any organization. We hope you enjoy.
This is a Facade Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special bonus episode of Three in the Box, sponsored by Power Soccer Shop. With me today, as usual, I have Josh Berger and Nikki Dwyer, and Dana Parrott is joining us from CNY United. How you doing, Dana?
I'm good. Thanks for asking me on. I'm just happy to be here. Bill, you reached out and shot me a message on Messenger, and I was just like, you know what? Got time, why not? I like you guys, so thanks for having me.
That's great. I'm glad we didn't scare you away the first time.
Nah.
I wanted to reach out because you and Nikki were just in New York for a little preseason tournament, and I thought we would chat a bit about how that tournament went, since that's pretty much what's going on in the league right now. So, Dana, Nikki, first impressions. How was the preseason tournament was it in Syracuse? Is that where you guys had it?
Yeah, it was in Syracuse. I mean, overall, it was a really successful tournament. It was our memorial tournament for, our three members of CNY that are like no longer with us. We have Patrick Coggins, Patrick Marshfield, and Drew Cunningham. So we hold this tournament every year to just remember them and just take the time to have soccer and do what they love the most. And I think it was a pretty successful tournament, right, Nikki?
I think so, especially for your team, right?
Yeah, we didn't do too bad. We came out undefeated, so good start. I mean, we did get one tie that we're really not happy about.
You didn't do too bad, but you went undefeated. Yeah, okay.
Not too bad.
Very humble answer. Very humble answer.
When you're 4-0-1, you get to be critical of the one. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Wait, so who did you tie with?
We tied with New England FC, so congratulations to them. But I will say, over the weekend, I told Peyton I was coming on here, and almost immediately after that game, like that same day, he was kind of like, make sure when you go on the podcast, you let them know what happened.
Yeah, it's a Peyton we know and love. He's still bitter about that thick ranking.
Peyton's here even when he's not here.
Yeah, exactly. That's my bro. I had to, bring him up. But yeah, so basically I will say what happened there was we had some subs, and what's important to note is that our roster at our home game isn't the same roster that we have at Nationals.
Makes sense.
So yeah, we had, a few other players there that weren't at Nationals because they don't quite travel, but they're still very much a part of our team. And especially at CNY, like, we have a very strong bond, and we're like all considered family. Like, it's very family centric. Like, we all care about each other on and off the court. So when you have players like that don't get the opportunity to travel as often as they would like, that's when you should kind of give them the opportunity. People may speculate and say, hey, but if you guys are tied, why not do that? My answer to that is I'm not the coach. I'm just happy to be there. So yeah, I was on the bench, we had players that don't, quite know the rules yet, still figuring out what a 2-on-1 is, what a 3 in the box, and how to rotate and all that. At the end of the day, if you're not having fun, then there's no point in being there. So
exactly.
Especially we're early on in the season. We can settle with a couple lost goals and We took that tie with them, and yeah, we wish we could have gotten it back. Don't get me wrong. If we played them twice, it would have been a very different story, in my opinion. But you know what? There's always next time.
Always next time.
I love it. Well, and like, I mean, first of all, now's the time to do it, right? Like you said, I mean, it's a home tournament, it's preseason. Like that's the time to kind of try out different things with your squad. You know, get some people in the game that aren't usually able to play. But also, I mean, a 1-1 draw is like not a terrible result against a team that's coming down from Premier Conference. I mean, they're not slouches.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely not. And I think that, you know, I used to play with those guys. They're, you know, solid. They have really good chemistry and they know how each other play. And they're very used to, you know, that kind of central 4 or 5 players that they got. I will say, shout out to Owen Norton. He wasn't there. He actually had an injury. I think he broke his leg. So, Owen, if you're watching this, hope you're feeling better, bro. You're missed. But yeah, Mark Fahili had a great goal that just kind of slipped right through our defense, and that was that. But yeah, I wish, you know, we hold ourselves to a high standard, and
Of course.
you can tell that I really wish that we got that game back.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Wait, so how many goals did Dana get? Mm-hmm.
You won't believe me, but like I genuinely could not tell you. It was probably around like 6 or 7.
Wow.
I don't know if that's like probably like 5 to 7. Yeah, I honestly like lost track. That was like my dad's count, so I don't know how.
So it might have been inflated then.
Yeah, exactly. But I do remember getting like at least I think 5. So like
okay, that's a solid weekend.
I will say it was the best soccer that I've been playing, in my opinion.
Okay, people, watch out.
No.
She's coming.
So many goals that you lost.
She's coming. Wow, what a problem to have.
That's different. It's inflated because of positioning. Like if I'm always the one at the end, you know.
Yeah.
If you're always the goal scorer position, like I'm getting set up. My teammates are doing the hard work. Like.
Do you do any of the kick-ins at all, or you just?
Yeah, so I was taking a lot of the kick-ins, but yeah, not all of them. Liam's working really hard on his kicks, and Peyton didn't really. If he took kicks, it was maybe like 1 or 2.
Okay, got it.
We're trying to mix it up.
Yeah, I like. It's still early in the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
So what's the? We heard the Dana recap. What's the Nikki recap? How did Tidewater Piranhas do this weekend?
We did not do that great, but that's okay. There was good competition there. Like we played Dana's team twice, so that's part of the reason we didn't do so well. But I really like this tournament because it's not so big of a tournament that you don't get to play everyone, and so I really like that because you got to play everybody, and even like I said, some teams got to play each other twice. And then another really cool thing about this tournament is that Canada was there. And so we got to see 2 of their national players.
That's awesome.
Tell me about this SIVA team, because we've seen them a couple of times, like on like score sheets. Last year they were at a couple tournaments. Now they're at this tournament. How is that team? Is that a Canadian club team, or is that like a put together team of a bunch of like what is that?
It's a club team from what I can tell. There's also another club team that we do sometimes see called Juni Sport. And what we saw was that SIVA wasn't really a thing, at least from my knowledge. It was always just Juni, but they had a pretty like stacked roster. And from what I can tell, they just kind of split up, but they're both still really good. But SIVA tends to come. They came this year and last year, and we only saw Juni like once in Vermont, I think. But they're really good.
I think they were both in Phoenix last year, if I'm not mistaken.
That kind of sounds right. I mean,
I've seen
last year.
Yeah, I've seen. Well, and maybe I have the tournament wrong. I thought it was Phoenix.
I think it was Canada, though.
Yeah, well, SIVA and Juni were both at a tournament last year. I just don't remember which one it was. I thought it was Phoenix, but maybe it was.
It could have been in Minnesota.
Sure.
I went to maybe it doesn't matter. I was just trying to get a feel for because I've seen Siva on a couple of different like score sheets now, and I just didn't know what the makeup of that team was. So,
well, then my next question is for both of you, Nikki and Dana, is like, what's the Siva club style? Like, how do they play? Like, are they like European style or more domestic style?
I don't even know how to answer that question.
I mean, I think Nikki and I can agree that they're a very physical team.
Okay.
Bully
style.
Yeah, but also the heart of that team is Caroline. Yeah, Caroline.
Okay.
I don't know, ever since I started playing power soccer, I've seen her at tournaments, and she's always just she's everywhere. She kind of reminds me of like how David Dowling is for Turnstone. Like, the whole game is kind of coming through that central player. She was wearing the penny for like the majority of it and kind of playing like as a center. And then they have Matthew, who's on the national team, and he's a great ball handler as well. But yeah, strong passing, really strong kicks, and I think once they would have done a little bit better if they just got their defense like a little bit set up in a different way, because when we were taking like corner kicks and sideline kicks, I don't know if this happened in the Piranhas games, but like they were like, the goalie was like within 5 meters and not behind the line, and like the ref would just kind of have to like remind them of like those kind of rules.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But like besides that, it's like they're like keeping up with my team that's in Premier now. They scored on us. I think it was once. Yeah. So it's like they're no slouch either.
Yeah. If you could give me a better measurement for Bill and I, what if they were playing in our league? Where would you put them as far as which conference?
What would you say?
That's a rough question.
Hey,
I'm
curious.
Rough question.
I'm curious to see what the answer is. I mean, come on.
I mean, they could go between presidents and champions, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there were no like wipeouts except for like one game against NEP was like 5-0, but that was I think the highest scoring game.
Okay.
There were none.
I don't even know if that was their full squad though. Like, I don't know if they were missing someone. I feel like they might usually have one more person, but I can't tell if that's Junie or Siva because now I'm like getting them confused.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know how like the domestic league works in Canada. This is stuff we can like research and talk about on a later episode too. But like, I don't know, like how frequently they play up there either. If they have like regular, I mean, I don't know. I don't know these things.
Yeah.
But so we'll throw those records up on the screen one more time. CNY United, NEP Wildcats, Tidewater Piranhas, New England FC, and Siva from Canada. All in Syracuse this past weekend for preseason tournament. Love that the action is getting started. Love that we're actually getting into some like soccer here. Speaking of which, did y'all get a chance to watch the APO Cup that has been all over YouTube?
Yes, I definitely did. I kind of watched an unhealthy amount of it, but it was pretty fun to watch.
Well, what do you think, Berger? What are your big takeaways from the Asian tournament?
Well, I mean, we kind of figured that Australia would win the whole thing. They're a pretty stacked team, and Australia, like Michael said in the last episode, I think he said that Australia has always had a really strong defense, and so they lived up to it. And then Japan was also dominating as well. When Australia and Japan played each other in a pool play, it was a very tight match. Like I think one of the games was 0-0, and the other game was like 1-0 or something like that. But New Zealand, new team, they have some work to do. But I think it'll be good in the future because they got this kid named Connor. Nikki, can you help me here?
I don't know anyone's names.
Connor from New Zealand.
Yeah, Connor from New Zealand. Look out! I think he could be a force to be reckoned with pretty soon. Teenager, and then who was the other team? It was
Korea.
South Korea.
Korea. Yeah, Korea.
Your
How could I
squad,
forget?
people,
Burger.
How could I
Josh.
Josh,
forget?
come on.
How
Talking
could I
about.
forget? I'm
Bad,
so
man.
sorry.
Burger
so-
literally talked this team up for the first like 24 hours of the tournament, and now he doesn't remember who they
I
are.
even
It's your
offered to be on
countryman,
their
Burger.
team.
Yeah, I'm
Sounds
pretty
like
sure
he's
you offered your
jumping ship.
services.
You know what? Had I known
He's
that, I mean, that
jumping
could be an
ship
option.
after
Maybe
the
I would.
result.
Hey, I wouldn't fault him if he can make a national team. I'm not going to fault him for it.
Hey, that'll be fun. You know, my mom would translate for me. I mean, I speak a little Korean, but anyway. But yeah, I don't even have a passport. So
Not too late to
Calling the
get
South
one.
Korean national team. Kid just needs a passport.
we'll see. Call me up. But Korea's got some work to do.
It's
They
their
got
first
it was
international.
their first international. Yeah, exactly. I think they played pretty well for being international squad. I don't know how many teams are in Korea. I couldn't get a definitive answer, like how many club teams there are, but I think it's probably under 15. And you know, Korea is a pretty big country, so I feel like they can definitely make it work, and it could be. I really think that Korea could have a big league pretty soon, and Australia's got like.
Sorry, finish. I'm sorry, Josh.
I was just saying, like, Australia's got like 20 teams out there, and it's crazy because Australia is huge. So there's so much out there. So that's what scares me. If Australia is this good with only like 15 clubs, 20 clubs, whatever, then it's gonna be a nightmare in the next 10 years.
Well, and we were talking off the air a little bit about, sort of the differences between like the America's Cup, the European, the Asian Cup. Like there is not as much parity today as we would maybe like to see between the three regions. But like I was going to say before, like that's how you grow the game, right? And we're sort of challenging these teams in Asia, not only to keep up with Australia, but then, once you qualify to be able to keep up with the teams in the Americas, not to mention Europe, which, I mean, we talked about that on the last episode. I mean, that tournament was wild. Like that's the quality of play in that tournament is top.
It was so fun to watch. So fun. Dana, did you catch any of those games?
Yeah. So
incredible.
Yeah, I am like a little overkill. I feel like when it comes to game film, just because I watch a lot of it and I really enjoy it. It's always playing like in the back, even when I'm just like doing work or whatever. But I think we were a little spoiled with like the European qualifiers. So like that like because the level of quality that we were seeing, like I talked a little bit about this like before we got on the air, was like they were like really good teams that didn't qualify. Like Ireland and Northern Ireland, they're really good. Like I cannot like give them praises enough, and like honestly my heart breaks for them a bit just because like I know that they play with such heart, and like especially Northern Ireland, like they're so young and like they're already kind of like going off the high of like making it to the last World Cup. So like I will say like I was rooting for them to like qualify. But yeah, I don't know. It's what I was saying is like I wonder how kind of a team like Japan or something would stack up against Northern Ireland in like that like now in 2025, but like we won't get to see that, so I'm like annoyed. But yeah, we got so much talent, and I think that obviously the US, but every team is like really good, and like we can't count anybody out. There's like no slouch that's gonna be in the World Cup this time next year, and I think every team knows it, and that just makes that much more pressure.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally. I mean, and you're going to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I really liked how close the championship game was between Japan and Australia. Like I think if I remember correctly, I think Australia scored the first 2 goals, and then the commentators are talking about how like this is a very dangerous spot to be, and then out of nowhere Japan scored, and so it was a very close 2-1 championship.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I think that it's always like we even saw that in our tournament this weekend. We got scored on like a couple times, like NEP, like Wildcats, they scored on us once, and I don't think they scored on us at all last season. So right out the gates, we went into halftime down 1-0. But that's really dangerous because teams can get confident, and then you go in, and when you least expect it, it's the team that wants it more, and they'll come back to bite you. Same thing as like they always say, 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead because you never know. And I think that it just shows that the teams that like want to play, especially like those international, squads that are going out, it's anybody's game. It really is.
Yeah.
8 a.m. games too, Dana, are not always the most,
No,
not
not
always
for
the
my team.
quickest start. That game,
Nope.
that game was at like 8 something in the morning. I'm just looking at the
Oh.
schedule that you sent me. It's like a
God.
8
Yeah.
a.m. game.
You can tell that that's a theme for us. We have a lot of like, I think it was at Nikki's tournament last year. We played, I think it was like ASPO Force first game, and we went 0-0. And they're always a tough team. Don't get me wrong, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been a 1-1 or something because we're both really good scoring teams. But I'm hoping neither of us were awake yet, and
Oh
that's
my
something that
gosh.
I don't know. I think every team struggles with it, but I'm still trying to figure out like how to overcome that.
Coffee's
Or
your
you
best
just get there
friend.
2 hours early. Like
That too.
ask like
Yeah.
Kenzie and Tyler what I used to make them do on Warriors. Like, oh, we have an 8 o'clock game. See you at 6:15. Sorry. And like literally would make them play like icebreaker games until we could
Yeah.
warm up because like
Yeah.
that's like you gotta wake up and even then, right?
Yeah.
It's just a method I tried. Half the time we couldn't get in the gym as early as I was trying to get in the gym. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to like get going. And I've heard Nikki talk
Yeah.
about it with Tidewater too. Like it's just tough.
Makes
But
sense. Makes sense.
very much looking forward to the America's Cup coming up in just a few weeks. Ferger's excited. Also
Very
can't
excited.
wait, of course, for the World Cup. But Dana, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for coming on, having this conversation. And thanks to all of you for joining us in our little mini unexpected surprise episode. Hopefully we can do a few more of these as tournaments start getting more regular.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. It's a privilege to be asked back, and it's always a pleasure chopping it up with you guys. And I just love everything you guys are doing. I'm a big fan, so keep doing it.
Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. For Power Soccer Shop, we're 3 in the box. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you after the America's Cup with some results for that tournament. Happy Halloween.
See you guys.
Like anybody knows me.
This is a Facade podcast.